sign the
Pledge
pad.
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you will please remain standing as we recognize those that have lost their lives in the defense of our country, both abroad and here at home, and as well our local residents, especially Clarice Kaplan and Joseph Krajek. Thank you. A reminder, it's a workshop. It runs different from a meeting.
You're going to speak, please.
Anybody who wants to speak during tonight's open public comment, please sign in the back. Department reports, wastewater.
Will you sign?
For November. Wastewater treatment for the month was 7 gallons, 5.6 inches of rain. Facility met all DEC, speedy permit limitations, Bellwood Lane pump stations and Navy Road are checked regularly and operating properly. 7.29 tons of digested sludge processing, bell filter press and disposal by Spectra Service bell filter press and operation APs. Chief John Jones met on site for 40
So the truck's coming into town.
discussed the digester furnace heat exchanger on November 8th. We haven't had an update on that, but we're working on that, and I understand the five-year plan that John has been put together to correct some other things that may have been an issue on our visit from EDC. Met on site with regional coordinator representative about updates to the warning system on November 18th. Worked on a Phoenix belt press technician on belt tracking issues, 2 days. Phoenix scraping plant operations ongoing 8 days. Maintenance, lubrication pumps, motors, and machinery as required.
No reports, correct? With that, I would like to introduce. Yes.
Oh, Nicholas Moran.
Nick. I would like to introduce Nick Moran. He gave us a presentation down in the boardroom about several programs going on in the state, and he has got some excellent information for us. We want to give him a few minutes here to inform the board as well as the community.
All right, my name is Nick Moran.
Nick, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Stand right where that is and face the camera.
All right.
We can hear you fine. We want to make sure the public gets hold of you.
So my name is Nicholas Moran. I'm a clean energy coordinator with the Hudson Valley Regional Council, and I work on a program by NYSERDA called the Clean Energy Communities Program. And what this program basically does is it gives municipalities, and they break them up between large and smaller municipalities, money to do clean energy actions. And my job as a clean energy community coordinator is, which is unique to this program, I give technical assistance to municipalities such as Village of Highland Falls to pursue actions so that they can be in a running for up to $100,000 in grant money. So the way the program works is you choose 4 out of 10, and we've identified 4 in our meeting really quickly to get on, move on it, because this is competitive. But once you get the 4 actions done, you're able to apply for $100,000 worth of grant money. So I'm here, and I'm here available, and I brought a bunch of folders for the community, as I was asked to by Mayor Flynn. So I wasn't going to give a huge presentation tonight. I don't know.
Right there on the corner.
Talk about it, but for instance, I'll just tell you the 4 that I think that we will pursue for the Village of Highland Falls, and that is benchmarking, which is for every municipally owned or operated building over 1,000 square feet to monitor energy use and make that available publicly every year. Then there's clean fleets, which is either purchasing a clean hybrid electric vehicle, plug-in electric hybrid vehicle, or installing a electric vehicle charging station. And then the third one is the Unified Solar Permit, which is you pass a local law making solar permit more in line with what other communities, and there's already a template, and it's just a matter of passing the law, and you get grant money to actually pass the law. $2,500 from the state, from the DEC to do that, so, as we know, so it won't cost the town, the village any money. And the last one is the energy code enforcement, and this is a program that is totally free to the municipality. The building inspector and two other municipal officials will be doing some work on energy code enforcement with a contractor. That's site visits and plans and going over the new code because the beast is a new change in the code system. And that's the four we have selected, and I look forward to working with the village and helping out as much as I can. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any questions for Nick?
No, we just, I'll be calling you because we had some locations on the chargers that I thought were pretty decent and were relatively expensive to install as far as labor goes. So, I think you're familiar with the weathers that have changed that stairs, so parking at 5 units. And we have a proposal that gas fire furnace replacement for the burning the methane produced from the sewer plant. That's on the schedule too, the engineer's working on the number for that. There's something else we needed, we needed 4 things, I don't know what that was, survey or something?
We could do, I mean, if you've already done clean energy upgrades, you could do, if you've already completed a clean energy upgrade where you can demonstrate 10% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions, you also
Okay.
apply for that.
You can work on all the
Yeah,
ones he
exactly.
has, and they each have different, some smaller monetary value. But we can get very quickly, I think we can get semi-quickly to the fact that we can apply for $100,000.
Good.
And that's the goal.
Yeah.
The fact that we've already started looking at the electric car charging stations. Tonight, we're actually looking at the clean energy referendum. So that's something, what's that? The benchmarking, thank you. So those are two things we'll start today.
Good.
So it's good to go. Thank you very much, Nick, I appreciate it. These will be available in the back once we get started.
Yeah, I just have a quick question. I did receive a draft resolution for the benchmarking. I didn't know if you wanted to consider that this evening or whether you wanted to have an opportunity to look at it. You would just have to name a department or someone who would be responsible for doing the benchmarking. That's the.
Okay. Well, we'll discuss it in workshop, and we'll make a decision there. All right? All right, I need a new business, I need a motion to approve the minutes as a regular meeting December 5th, 2016, and emergency board meeting December 9th, 2016. Do I have a motion?
You do.
Second?
All's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I have a budget amendment for the fiscal year 16-17 for the insurance recovery. Any questions? Have a motion?
Motion.
Motion.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Do.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
This is the resolution that we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay. You want to go into that?
Sure. This is for the budget amendment, whereas $6,179.98 has been received from the Alternative Service Concepts LLC, and whereas this revenue has been designated to offset the cost of the repairs of the police vehicle number 936, now therefore be it resolved that due to an unanticipated revenue from Alternative Service Concepts LLC, the Board of Trustees approve an amendment to increase the appropriation budget A3120.04, police contractual, and the review code A2680, insurance recoveries for $6,179.98 for the fiscal year 2016-17. I have a motion, I have a second, roll call.
Trustee Moreno?
Aye.
Trustee Mallon?
Aye.
Trustee Howard?
Aye.
Trustee Murphy?
Aye.
Mayor Flynn?
Aye. We have a memorandum for a surplus vehicle. Any questions on that?
You can look at that recommended. That,
questions? 2004 Crown Vic. We read these out?
Yeah, just, the ones that won.
Okay, 2004 Crown Vic, Joe DeWitt. 1986 Gravely Lawn Tractor, all-season power equipment. And the 1995 Troyville Tractor and Attachments, all-season power equipment. Any questions? All those in favor?
Motion, do we?
Let's get a motion, yeah.
I make a motion that we.
Have a motion, do I have a second? Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I have a motion to accept, or do I have a motion to hire as a contractor, a grant writer at $5,000 prorated for the year? You have the paperwork on the resume and the job description. Do I have a motion?
Question on the subject. Previously, we specified 5,000 prorated, but it would be on a trial basis.
Correct.
So we're not voting tonight to ensure that it's 5,000. It's just something less than 2,500 as not a, hopefully a very successful experiment, but that's all we're committing to.
Well, if we don't, if she's not working, then yes, she won't be paid. Oh, yes, it's 5,000 prorated.
Right.
If she's not working, then she won't get paid.
Okay.
Okay?
And I am very confident that it will work out, but just so that's clear.
Thank you. So I have a motion.
I'll move it.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're gonna move the Consolidated Zoning Board appointment. Okay. I need a motion to approve the Consolidated Zoning appointment. Ray Devereaux is on the board right now. He's requesting to be reappointed. Do I have any
I'll make a
discussion on
motion.
that?
No, I
You make a
think
motion?
you did a great job.
I agree.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I'm gonna hold off on the next one. The resolution for Murray's, Berry, and Oak. Do you have any questions on that before I read the resolution?
Don't wait too long, take more money from us.
And Brian's not here. It's a resolution for Mearns Avenue, Berry Hill Road, and Oak Street. Whereas the Village of Highland Falls, New York Village Board has 3 earmarked projects in the Orange County Transportation Council, OCTC, TIP, for the upcoming funding cycle, i.e. 875948 Oak Street, 876601 Berry Hill, 876016 Mearns Avenue. Whereas the local share for the Village of Highland Falls is $100,000 and the total project cost is $447,000. Whereas the Village of Highland Falls has authorized Alfred Fusco Jr. to prepare the plans and the OCTC questionnaire on behalf of the Village of Highland Falls, whereas the Village of Highland Falls is desirous to have their project approved and completed in the next 12 to 18 months. Be it resolved, the Village Board of the Village of Highland Falls appropriate the local share of $100,000 to be held toward completion of the New York State Department of Transportation approval procedure. Do I have a motion?
I make the motion to make the repairs.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Trustee Farina?
Aye.
Trustee Mallon?
Aye.
Trustee Howard?
Aye.
Trustee Murphy?
Aye.
Mayor Flynn?
Aye. And a motion to accept the bills and claims for fiscal year 16-17 in the amount of $55,685.67. Do I have a motion?
You do.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Moving into the workshop session. First up is the clean energy. And leave in your packet. You have that. There is a
They don't have,
sample.
they don't have.
Oh, they don't.
They don't.
Do I? This, right?
Yes,
There is a sample resolution, basic, that everyone uses. It's really long, you couldn't have shortened that at all. We're gonna work on that, on page 3 here. Okay.
Is it the board's intent to pass this resolution tonight?
The board just found out about it, so if this was a single page, you got me. I like it. What I'll do is we're gonna provide copies of this. We can't get it all done by next meeting anyway, but what we'll do is we'll set up the 4 different things that we're looking at. The key was I wanted to introduce you to Nick. Not only is he here to make a presentation, but he is also giving us 60 free hours of his service as part of this project. So he's gonna be here to answer questions for us, do all kinds of different things to make this happen. So what we're gonna do, rather than walk through my copy, is copies will be made to all the board members. You'll have till next meeting to look it over, and if you can, look over the packet as well. Not just this, but all 4 of the things that we're gonna go for to achieve the $100,000, to achieve the possibility of getting the $100,000 grant. Okay, so we'll make copies available to the board for that, and we'll put that on the next agenda. Senior center usage. I want to thank the clerks. They didn't just take, I want to thank Charlie. Charlie went ahead and worked to get the information from the fire department to see how their policies go for rentals. And our clerks went out and looked around the county, found 1 or 2, one in particular was Florida, had a pretty nice application and policy in place. So we did write this up. We are looking to move forward on this. It's not something that can't be altered, but I'd like to have something in place so that if we do have more groups that want to utilize it, we actually have paperwork in place that they can have. One of the pieces, as you look through this, one of the big pieces is that we have one of the trustees be the point person for the senior center. And that person, as long as everything was in place, would actually approve the use. Meaning that if somebody wanted to, if it was Wednesday and they wanted to have a function on Saturday, there is no meeting in between, so we couldn't get together unless it was an emergency meeting. So this way, the trustee, knowing the insurance is good, the place is available, and they filled out the proper paperwork, and everything's in order, he could then approve the use of the building. That's what they do in Florida, and I think it's an excellent policy, because this way, one, we want the building used more, and some people unfortunately don't plan out 6 months, a year ahead of time. So this will allow a little more leeway to the seniors, as well as the use of the building. Charlie?
My compliments to Gina, our clerk, because she has condensed a lot and made it very, very clear. And I like the initially on the back page, on each of the items that the user of the facility acknowledges. My biggest question and or concern, have we gotten a specific reading from the county about the grant, and are we able to rent the facility to just seniors, or can it be a senior renting it for, you know, a family birthday party, or it boils down to the individual signing off on it has to be a senior. Is that correct?
That's for the board to decide. In Florida, it does not.
Even though they got
They-
the same grant?
I don't know if they have the same grant. The grant stipulation is that it must be utilized at least 75% of the time by seniors.
Thank you, that's the answer.
So that's the board's decision if you want to stipulate that that's the only ones that can rent the building.
I would like as many functions senior sponsored, but rather than have the building go unused, any events that would happen there, I'd also want senior benefited, meaning that the money does not go anywhere but to the senior building. Whether it is in, I mean, we could definitely use it in the basic maintenance, but if for some reason that fund got full, which I doubt, it could be used for program or anything of the seniors' use. But I'd like to see us, as we were moving forward, this is senior priority. But, I mean, we can do what others do, and there'll always be a senior around to say, you know, I'll be that person to sponsor it, but I would rather we have the 25% leeway if the building's not being used to benefit the seniors with financially. I believe that that's okay to do.
Maybe we should just check the language in that grant, because I know there's some things in there that specifically spelled out who and who can't use the building.
Right.
So, you know, and I
This
don't
this
remember-
doesn't specify in here
No.
who and who cannot. This is just the,
Right.
this is just the use policy, and that's what we would approve tonight.
Okay.
So as far as who can use it or not, we can follow that up with the county to confirm.
You might wanna make this contingent on a formal policy, that will be drafted to be consistent with the grant as well as your wishes for where the money is to go, etc. So you could pass this and start, but I would suggest that you draft a policy that outlines exactly who gets to use it, where the money goes, etc. And you might even want to set up, talk to your treasurer about earmarking that into a special fund.
I agree.
Should that be done before we pass this?
No,
No?
this is just the use form. This doesn't give everyone, it still has to be approved. We still have to say yes. So we'll have, what we'll do is our goal will be policy up for vote at the next meeting.
I think, yeah, you need to do that pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Because someone can
No, it's
walk
not-
in
right.
and you have no policy.
Right. With that, any other questions on the form?
Sorry.
Oh, Charlie?
Uh, Okay, we passed this form tonight, and it specifies $500 per event plus a $500 deposit. In a couple months, we have the leeway to maybe make a change that would give a discounted rate to something that is exclusively senior citizens, some other, pricing structure.
Senior citizen, well, that what we do in our policy, but senior citizen events we don't charge for. They've had several of them
Well,
since they opened.
But a private part, well, okay, maybe that is
You
extreme.
might want to have your policy in place.
Well, that's what we're gonna put the policy in place for next meeting.
We can amend this
Anytime.
anyway.
Yes, you can amend this.
Right.
If in fact we find that it's not consistent with what the grant, what the parameters are.
Yeah, that'll be spelled out
In the policy. Well, this won't change per se.
Right.
The policy will change. The policy will be written
But if you
down.
want to modify the fee structure at some
Right.
point in the future.
And we've done that with other things, is even individual events, because of, say it's a fundraiser for a certain thing, we can waive or lower fees depending. Any other questions?
I feel better.
I'm glad. No questions? With that, I would ask for a motion.
I make the motion, we sign the agreement, sign that application.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I don't have the other information on the website, so we're gonna table that for the next meeting. No, I don't have the other information.
Okay.
Consolidated Planning Board, I would like to get that done today. I think that I would like to go into exec, talk about personnel for that. Correspondence on sewer bill. This we had at last meeting. Bob wanted to double check things with Kevin and make sure we're good to go. It's my understanding that they're paying the water bill, but they would like one of the standard previous sewer bills because there was a leak into the road, and that's what Kevin had discovered. Are you good to go?
Hang on, I was reading, my apologies. Now, where did you say the water leak was at?
419?
Yeah, but I mean, what you
It's in the back. That's what I didn't go into,
Yeah,
he just said it was in the back of the building, and it went into the ground, it didn't actually go into the building.
yeah, but it went to the meter in the front, and pipe broke in the back, and it flooded the back.
That's all I know.
Yeah,
Okay. And he said he does have he had a contractor fix it
right.
with that documentation. Any other questions on that?
No?
Good. Where's that? Again, he's gonna pay the full water bill, unfortunately, that's just the way it is. But he would like to go back to the standard bill before it went from 500 to 3,000.
We've talked about this before, and, we don't do that.
No, what we don't do is if somebody's pool or something, and we don't let the water go. What we have done in the past is, because the water didn't go into the sewer,
Right.
if it's validated that it didn't go into the sewer.
And you're saying they come and validate?
That's
that
what he
it
did,
didn't
right.
go into the sewer, it was leaking outside?
And that's the only reason why I would even bring it up.
Okay.
This is a modification to the sewer bill.
Correct.
Right.
Yes, your code does allow you to consider the sewer, not the water.
Right.
Right.
Good to go?
Yes, I am.
Any other motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All's in favor?
What, I'm sorry, what is the motion about? What exactly are you doing? Just,
We're not forgiving the sewer bill.
no, you were doing.
We're modifying the sewer bill
Modifying the-
to like a standard that, and that's what's been done in the past.
Okay.
They look at the last 3 or 4, whatever sewer bills,
Average reading.
average reading, and that's what they go with, as far as the charge.
I see.
This went from 500 to 3,000, so
Okay,
there's a little bit of a difference.
but he's not paying the 3,000.
He's gonna be paying more like the 500.
All right.
He's paying the water, this is
For
just sewer.
Yes, he's
Just sewer.
paying the water.
He's paying the water,
He has to do that under. your
Correct.
code, but not, all right,
okay?
yeah.
I had a motion and a second, do I have, all's in favor? Opposed? Okay, I don't see it here. Oh, yeah, it is, right there, what's that?
Excuse me,
Okay.
who was the second on that?
Bob,
And who was the motion?
Charlie.
Thank you.
All right, we have a resolution for extending the length of service award program for the Highland Falls Fire Department. This is the LoSAP. Before we get into it, just a note that was checked, that just similar to Fort Montgomery, we're pretty positive that there will be no additional cost because the money already has been set aside, even for all these additional years, just so we're aware. Whereas the Village of Highland Falls sponsored a length of service award program, LoSAP, for the Highland Falls Fire Department. Said program effective as of January 1, 2002. Whereas the existing LoSAP plan established a benefit period at a maximum of 20 years of service. And whereas the Highland Falls Fire Department has requested the village board extend the maximum years of service to 40 years. And whereas the village board believes that it is the best interest of the village to amend the LoSAP to a maximum of 40 years. Whereas the village board has been advised by its insurance carrier that said extension would not result in any additional cost to the village. And whereas the adoption of the amendment of the existing plan constitutes routine or continuing agency administration and management, not including new program or major reordering of priorities that may affect the environment, and accordingly is a type 2 action under the State Environment Quality Review Act. Now therefore be it resolved that the length of service award program for the Highland Falls Fire Department be increased from the maximum benefit period of 20 years to a maximum benefit period of 40 years, effective January 1st, 2016. Be it further resolved that this resolution is subject to a mandatory referendum of the qualified voters of the Village of Highland Falls, and said referendum shall be held at the next general elections. Be it further resolved that the proposition placed before the qualified voters reads as, shall the defined benefit program established by the length of service award program as approved by the voters of the Village of Highland Falls, County of Orange, State of New York, be amended to provide that volunteer firemen and firewomen serving in the Highland Falls Fire Department be increased from the current 20 years to 40 years, effective January 1, 2016, at no additional cost. Be approved. Should this amendment to the length service award program fail to be approved by the voters, the existing 20-year length service plan will not be effective. Do I have a motion?
You do, absolutely.
Second, Brian, you were close there. Roll call.
Trustee Farina?
Aye.
Trustee Mellon? Trustee Ellis?
Aye.
Trustee Murphy?
Aye.
Mayor Flynn?
Aye. Any questions or comments by the board? No, we do have the abandoned and vacant building registration. It's for discussion.
Yeah, I just drafted that. It's based on really the city of Newburgh local law. I did want to give it to the board to review. There are other local laws that are similar. It would be a change to your property maintenance law. You might want to consider very specifically, what the fines should be, how this would be administered. So I would suggest that the board take a look at this, give it some consideration. Let me know your thoughts, and I can modify for introduction at the next meeting.
Any other board comment, board questions?
Not that I'm aware of. But we could always.
Okay, with that, do we have that list? Want to grab that list? Public comment?
What's that? Is he around the corner?
Oh, Ken, did you take off? Did Rob take off? Kowski?
No.
Want to introduce? Yeah. Oh. I'm like, Agnes, your beautiful writing, I couldn't, I'm like, I can't read this. All right. No, it's actually very beautiful and descriptive. Public comment, Agnes?
Well, I'm here tonight to tell you that on December 6th, which was a Tuesday night, actually it was Wednesday morning, December 7th, when I made the call to 911, that it took 20+ minutes before a police vehicle showed up at my home. My home had been broken into, burglarized, and I thought that the perpetrators were still in the house. I could have been dead long before the police officers came. Now, what happened? This is not a complaint against our local police departments, and I say departments because it was reported to them that it was a robbery, not a burglary. So they had to have backup, all right? So there were 2 police agencies that showed up and 4 policemen. They went to the Aristoff estate because that's where they were sent. I live in Ondeora. I'm the first house on the right. And when I call our local police department, which is programmed into all of my phones at home, I say, my name is, I live at, I'm in the first house on the right as you come into the park, all right? They're sent to Aristoff's property, and they're looking for the first house on the right. There is no first house on the right there. So, they're looking at the rest of the property, thinking that there may be another house in there that they were unaware of. In the meantime, the 911 dispatcher had told me that I was going to have help in 1 minute. At that point, I was sitting in my car because I had been told that it was all right to stay on my front porch. That's a good place to stay in the middle of the night in winter, or almost winter, cold anyway. Fortunately, I had my car keys, so I got in the car. The dispatcher said, help will be there in 1 minute. I have to go now. And I'm sitting in the car waiting 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And I ended up calling my daughter who lives on Long Island. She made a call to 911 and was put through to Goshen. And she told the dispatcher who she was, where she lived, etc., etc. I'm calling on behalf of my, I guess I can say it, I'm 80 years old, my 80-year-old mother, my name, where I live, and that I have put a call through, and why aren't the police coming to help her? The second dispatcher was a little more empathetic and stayed on the phone, okay? Still waiting. Still waiting. I'm not by the house now. My daughter said, get away from the house, which is a smart thing, really. I shouldn't have been sitting in the car next to the house. I don't know who was in there. All right. Now I'm in front of Satterley Grove entrance with the flashers on my car. And still waiting. Cars are going in and out of Ondeora. Not a police car. Finally, I see 2 cars coming north on Main Street, following each other closely. They came into the park, and as I'm watching, I noticed that one stopped across the street from my house. By the time the police officer came to my car to talk to me, 25 minutes had elapsed. Am I a fan of 911? No. Am I a fan of our local police departments? Yes. Everybody who came was very kind, they've been very thorough. They did an excellent job. It was not their fault that they were not where they were supposed to be. But I am telling you, I don't know how much money we are saving by using 911. From, what is it, midnight to 8? Well, in my case, it didn't help because my first call went in at 11:26. And I wish that you would consider that carefully because honestly, I feel my life is worth more than whatever you're saving. And somebody had said $14. Whatever, maybe it's $14 an hour. I'm sure, but you're saving some money, and I understand that was a motivating factor. But I have a different motivating factor, and that is the security of everybody in our community. So,
I know that,
Thank
I
you.
talked to the officers, I know that they documented that.
yes.
We are documenting any issues, any instances. And again, as we said, we're gonna be reviewing that, so I thank you for letting us know again.
Thank you for your
Appreciate it.
time.
With that, I would need a motion to go into executive session to discuss personnel matters. Do I have a motion? Motion.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed?